All right. Another week, another win for the Ravens. They took on Cincinnati today in Baltimore, and they came away with the 27-3 victory. It really should have been 27-0, but somehow Cincinnati managed to sneak a field goal in at the end of the game. So good on them for that. But really, it was a 27-0 victory. We're 4-1 for the first time since 2012, our Super Bowl year. So hopefully that means we're going to the Super Bowl. But we're not talking about Super Bowl from now until the playoffs. We don't deserve to talk about Super Bowl. Positives to look at the game. First of all, let's start off. Defensively, Marlon Humphrey, man. Marlon Humphrey is making his case to be the defensive player of the year. I mean, this guy right here is the best corner in the game. Once again, he forces yet another turnover. This guy is the best in the league at forcing fumbles. He just continues to punch the football out. Like, this guy is elite at it. No one's better at doing that than him. Once again, he forces yet another turnover. Not only that, but he got a sack on Joe Burrow. This guy, Humphrey, my God, best corner in the game. I don't care what you got to say. Next, Patrick Queen. Patrick Queen, week by week, is just gaining more love and support from this Ravens fan base because he continues to go out there and he produces. He causes a sack fumble on Joe Burrow, which I love. And not only that, he also picked up the fumble that Humphrey caused and he took it to the house for a fumble return touchdown. Queen and Humphrey were stars today. They were absolutely beautiful. And then, of course, Calais Campbell still doing his thing. So those three, Humphrey, Campbell, and Queen, every week they're bringing it. And I love these three players on our defense. They're the best three players on our defense. Now, Marcus Peters also got an interception in this game. Good on him. I don't know where. Joe Burrow shouldn't have thrown that ball. He should have thrown it out of bounds. I don't know why he would. There was pressure there. He should have just thrown it out. He just threw it deep across the middle, and it was an easy pick from Marcus Peters. So good on him. He's still getting turnovers. But he did get beat a couple times down the field. So, hey, it's what you get with Marcus Peters. Overall, the defense as a unit played great. There was not really an issue there. We got a lot of sacks on Joe Burrow, but that wasn't because our pass rushing was great. It was because we were constantly blitzing. As long as we can blitz these guys, it's going to work out. When you're going up against rookie quarterbacks, they can't recognize the blitz, so they can't get the ball out of their hands quick. So these blitzes are going to continue to work on quarterbacks like Joe Burrow. Not even quarterbacks like Joe Burrow, but just like rookie quarterbacks and guys that are young and can't recognize the blitz yet. They still haven't learned that process. Once Joe learns that, I don't think the blitzing is going to be able to work against him. If he has time to learn it, trust me, it's not going to work against him moving forward. But, yeah, it was great defensive performance. Though I got to say, Matthew Judon, you have been the exact opposite of Patrick Queen. Every week, Queen gets more support, and every week, you get less support. You are losing fans by the week. Two penalties. Two offside penalties. One offside cost an interception. The other offside made it 3rd and 1, and the Bengals were able to pick up a first down because of that. You are costing the team. You have, not only that, but you just weren't really great out there. Judon, week by week, you're losing more support. You continue to go out there and just look just mediocre at times. Again, like I said, my opinion is not going to change of Judon no matter what he does. I'm always going to see him as a solid player. He's a solid guy. He's not special. He can make plays, but he's just a solid player. That's it. I already know people are calling for Judon to be traded or just released or something like that. That's on them, but that's not happening. Judon's just been bad. He's been the exact opposite of Patrick Queen. Patrick Queen has impressed every week. Judon continues to disappoint every week. It's been difficult. Other than that, the defense did their job. Jalen Ferguson also looked pretty nice out there. Bowser also looked pretty nice out there. The defense as a whole just looked nice today and did well in stopping Burrow and the offense from getting any points. They gave up that field goal at the end, but it was garbage time. Otherwise, they did well. Special teams wasn't really able to get anything going in the return game because they actually covered well. But Tucker actually missed a field goal, a 61-yard field goal. And that's tough. It is what it is. Tucker's still the best kicker in the game. And sometimes you're going to miss those type of kicks. But I'm not worried about that. Other than that, Tucker was fine. Like, that 61-yard field goal miss, I'm just addressing that here. I'm not worried about that. Tucker's the best in the game. I feel like if it's a clutch time situation where we need that field goal, I believe he will come up in the clutch for us like he's always done. So I'm not worried about Tucker kicking the ball, even if it's a 61-yard field goal. I trust him. If he misses it, it is what it is. But I still trust him to make that kick. So I'm not worried about that. I just wanted to address that. Now let's get into this offense. Oh my God, this offense. This offense is garbage. It's garbage right now. And that's not to say that they can't perform better. I'm just saying right now, the way they're playing like garbage. They managed to get 20 points. I don't know how they managed to get 20 points. Probably because the defense was putting them on short fields and just making great plays. But they were just terrible. First of all, let's start with the main reason they were terrible. Greg Roman, you've got, oh my God, I've been calling for this man's job since the Chiefs game. I said if we're going to be able to be great moving forward, you got to get a different play caller because this guy does not know what he's doing in the passing game, and he doesn't know what he's doing with the play calling. If there's any reason or any evidence you need to persuade anybody or even to even promote, just if you need any specific evidence as to why I'm saying he needs to be gone, today was a perfect example. It was a perfect example for that. What type of garbage play calling was this? You having Lamar Jackson throw the ball 37 times. For what? For what? And you guys are just out there actively trying to force the deep ball down the field. The connection's not there right now. But you're just actively trying to force the ball down the field. The amount of pass plays you guys were calling was terrible. I mean, you had a drive where it was just like pass, pass, pass. Oh, let's run it here. Pass, pass. And obviously those drives were ending quick. I mean, for God's sakes, what are you doing? Why aren't you running the ball? You've got Mark Ingram. You've got Gus Edwards. You've got J.K. Dobbins, yet you're throwing the ball 37 times? What? We know the strengths and weaknesses of our quarterbacks. You should not be having Lamar Jackson throw the ball 37 times. You're not winning many games like that. Especially against tougher competition. You're not winning games against tougher competition with Lamar Jackson throwing the ball 37 times. At least not with this offense. Because with the weapons on this team, it's not going to work out like that. Your play calling was terrible. Also, I don't know what the Ravens continue to do. I keep preaching this, but they just continue to do the same thing. I love Mark Ingram. But it's clear as day to anybody that that you gotta give the most carries to either Gus Edwards or J.K. Dobbins. J.K. Dobbins needs so much more carries, man. He needs so much more. He went out there and made a great run, and I'm looking at this like, you see this guy? Every time you're putting him on the field and you're giving him the rock, he's making plays and he's breaking free for long runs. Give J.K. Dobbins more carries. Please give this man more carries. We're wasting that talent. Do you understand the potential he could bring? What are we doing? Put him on the field and give him more carries. Come on, Roman. You're the expert in the run game and you don't see what this guy's bringing to the table? My God. I love Ingram to death, but J.K. Dobbins needs to get more carries, man. On the bright side, they actually had Devin Duvernay get a little bit more involved in the offense, so it seems like they're starting to listen to what the fans are saying. But at the same time, Miles Boykin is still in, and Miles Boykin has just been terrible. I said it last week, I'll say it again. Bench this dude. Bench this dude. Bench this dude. There was, I believe, a third down play where I don't even know what Boykin was doing. He can't get separation. He's coming off the line of scrimmage slow. Lamar Jackson threw that ball into the end zone, and Boykin was nowhere there. That was some sort of miscommunication. But apparently Lamar was thinking that Boykin was going to go deep for that route at the end zone, but Boykin just stopped. He just instead chose to block. I don't know what Boykin was doing. What was the goal there? Boykin's been terrible. Just bench this dude. Just bench this dude. Please bench this dude. At this point, if you need someone else to come out there, put Prochet on that side. You got Prochet in the special teams. How about you go put him there and see what he can do? Because I know Prochet he's got some speed and he can win the 50-50 balls. Boykin is bringing nothing to the table on offense. Bench him now. Please bench him. That leads me to our quarterback, Lamar Jackson. This was the worst performance of the season for him, in my opinion. And yes, I know he did not play well against Kansas City. He had 97 passing yards and all that other stuff. But that's Kansas City. That's a championship level team right there. Championship level. They are the defending Super Bowl champions. So yeah, that's the best team in the league. And that defense shut him down. So it is what it is. It clearly showed that we are not where we want to be on offense. We've got a lot of work to do in order to catch up to them. That's fine. But what's the excuse here? You dominated Cincinnati both times you faced them last season. You had no problem running and throwing the football on them. Today, I think he had 3 rushing yards. What? Lamar Jackson got 3 rushing yards against this Cincinnati defense? And not only that, he threw a terrible interception. Like, he's just not, it's like he's not reading the field well enough that he's not seeing that defender there. I don't know what he was doing. He's just been picked off 3 times in this game, but he got lucky to only get 1. Lamar Jackson he was not going through his reads properly. And the reason for that is because this guy is folding under the pressure at times. Like, he's just standing in the pocket at times and just trying to be a pocket passer, which is something we're going to have to talk about in another video. Because, like, Lamar Jackson, there were plenty of times in this game he could have taken off and there was space, but he's just standing there in the pocket looking for something. The pressure's there. And because the pressure's there, he's not really able to read the defense the way he wants to, and he's throwing bad throws. I mean, golly, Lamar Jackson was terrible. 19 of 37 passing. For 180 passing yards? He was terrible. He had the 2 touchdowns, one to Hollywood Brown, which was the first of his season, and then the other to Mark Andrews. But other than those 2 touchdowns, what did he do? What did he do? It was just a lot of running around. It was not great. Lamar Jackson was not great in this game. It was terrible, man. Terrible. And we know he can play better than that. Right now, he's not playing up to his MVP standards, and it's going to take some time in order for him to play up to that level because him and this offense have a lot of work to do. I mean, Lamar was just forcing the ball down the field, and he was just overthrowing his receivers all game. All game, he was overthrowing his receivers. He's overthrowing Hollywood Brown. He's overthrowing Mark Andrews. It's just he was overthrowing his receivers all day. It looked bad out there, man. And it feels like I'm ranting, but this is something we have to talk about moving forward. Congratulations on getting the win, guys, but even they know they played poorly today. If you ask Lamar Jackson, he would tell you played like crap today. He played terrible today. Congrats on the 2 touchdown passes, but other than that, you did nothing today. And those 2 touchdown passes happened when did they happen? Weren't both of those in the first quarter? I think both of those were in the first quarter. And if you would assume that both of those were in the first quarter, either one was in the first quarter and the other was early in the second quarter, or both was in the first quarter. But I believe both were in the first quarter because Cincinnati did turn the ball over. So yeah, I think it was both in the first quarter. If that's the case, that means for the remaining 3 quarters, Lamar Jackson did nothing. Nothing passing the ball and nothing running the ball. He is worst performance of the season, in my opinion, because it's one thing to do that against Kansas City, but this is Cincinnati. This is Cincinnati, and that defense locked you down for most of this game. This team's got some work to do, man. And I'm not putting all the blame on Lamar Jackson because, again, even though he did not play bad, 1, the play calling was trash, so it's going to be tough there. And 2, the connection between him and the receiver is not there. There were a lot of miscommunications throughout the game, and not all of them are on Lamar Jackson. Some of those were definitely on the receivers not being in sync with him. So, again, there's just something going on with this offense. They need a lot of work. And, again, I keep calling for it. Greg Roman needs to go, man. This is not going to be the guy that's going to help us get a championship. If we end up getting a championship with him, I'll come up here and apologize to Greg Roman and say, well done, man. You proved me and a lot of fans wrong. If we somehow manage to win the championship with this guy as our offensive coordinator, I'll applaud him and give him all the credit. But I'm just not seeing it. With his bad play calling, I'm not seeing it, guys. We're not going to take that next step in the passing game with this guy as our offensive coordinator. And with the way Lamar Jackson was playing today, if he doesn't step it up, we're not going to do anything in the playoffs. Like I said, you can go 15-1. We'll probably get 1 and done with the way our offense is playing right now. It has been terrible. Hollywood Brown is still doing his thing. He's gaining separation, but with Lamar not hitting him downfield, there's not much he can do there. No, though there was one pass that was actually good down the field, but that was a good defensive play to knock it out of Hollywood Brown's hands. So other than that, Hollywood is gaining separation. He's getting down the field. Lamar Jackson's just overthrowing him. So that's got to be fixed eventually. They still got so much work to do. I know it's only week 5, but they got so much work to do. Boykin just needs to be benched completely. Bring in Prochet or do whatever you want to do. If you want to bring in Prochet or you want to put Duvernay at the outside or maybe you want to, whatever you got to do, just bench. If you ask me, bench Duvernay, not a bench Duvernay, bench Boykin, start Duvernay in the slot over Willie Snead and put in James Prochet and see what you can do with that on offense. Because right now, it's not there, man. It's not there. I think that the majority of the majority of the looks on offense need to go, in terms of the slot position, needs to go to Duvernay over Snead. And I think Boykin needs to be benched for Prochet to see what we can do. I'm just looking at that. That's what I feel it needs to happen in terms of the personnel on offense. I think that needs to happen. Let's see how that goes. Also, in terms of the running game, J.K. Dobbins needs to get more touches. And if you want, you can make Gus Edwards your number one back because he does the most damage. You want to do that? Cool. But I need J.K. Dobbins needs to get more. I'm sorry, guys. He just needs to. And I feel like I'm frantic while making this video because I'm constantly thinking of all these scenarios that they need to do in order to improve. Because right now, I'm not happy with what I'm seeing on this offense. I'm not. There's so much more I want to talk about, but I'm going to leave it here for that in terms of the offense. Maybe I'll address this in a video later in the week, but like, right now, I'm not happy with what I saw on offense. Defense, I like what I saw on defense, though we still have that hole in the pass rush. That our pass rushing game needs to be fixed there. We need to get a pass rusher or something like that. We'll see. But other than that, the defense, there's not much holes on there. The only thing we need is a pass rusher. I'm fine with that. Offensively, there are so many issues on this offense. Mark Andrews and Hollywood Brown, they're legit. They're what they are. We know what they're going to bring. We're not worried about them, okay? We know. They're the only ones that showed up on the offense. We know what they did, man. We know what they... Well, at least in the passing game. In the passing game, those two showed up on offense. And Devin Duvernay, he got a couple looks. He did what he could. So that's what I'm saying. He needs to get more looks on the offense. But yeah, other than that, Boykin was garbage. Oh, my God, Boykin was garbage. I just don't like what I'm seeing on this offense, man. I don't like it. This offense needs work. It needs a lot of work, man. It needs a lot of work. There's so much to talk about here. It needs a lot of work. So, to recap, we got the win. Congratulations, 4-1. But in terms of what we need to improve on moving forward, defensively, it's just a pass rushing. It's as simple as that. Fix the pass rushing, we're good to go. Offensively, the play calling needs to be better. And if Greg Roman cannot provide better play calling, especially in the passing game, Greg Roman needs to go. Next, Lamar Jackson has got to calm down. He's been playing frantic. He's been making a lot of erratic throws and a lot of bad decisions. He needs to calm down. Also, it seems like he's forcing himself to be a pocket passer. He's not taking off the way he would usually take off if it's an open. Because there were times where the field was open. He could have taken off. But instead, he's just standing in there and he's hesitating to throw the ball. So that needs to change as well. Boykin needs to be benched, and we need to give James Prochet an opportunity. Devin Duvernay needs to get more offensive snaps than Willie Snead, which I hope they're transitioning to do. And in the run game, J.K. Dobbins needs to get more snaps. And I feel like you got to put Gus Edwards as your number one back, J.K. Dobbins at number 2, and Mark Ingram at number 3. I love Mark Ingram to death, but we got to be real here. J.K. Dobbins and Gus Edwards provide more in the run game right now than Mark Ingram. Because Edwards, no matter what, every time you give him the ball, he's going to do damage. He's always going to gain yards. He doesn't lose yards. He's gaining yards. And with J.K. Dobbins, the guy's speed and strength is clear as day. Whenever we put him on the field, he somehow manages to break off a big run. He needs to get more carries, and Gus may need to be the main back. There is so much work that needs to be done on this offense, and it's going to take time. But right now, this is not it, man. We're not doing anything in the playoffs with this offense. It's bad. They got a lot of work to do, and it's going to take some time, man. So, yeah, other than that, we won 4-1. I'm not going to be mad at the win. I pointed out the issues, but I'm not mad at the win. I'll take it any day. 4-1, looking nice, doing great. We're trying to stay in pace with the Steelers, who beat the Eagles. Well, not even like stay in pace, because they're undefeated right now, and we're 4-1. We both have the same amount of wins. They didn't get to play that game against the Titans. So we'll see. We're competing with Pittsburgh for the division right now, so we're going to continue to win, hopefully. And we'll just see where we go in terms of improvements on the offense as the season goes on. That's all I got for this, man. There's so much more I want to talk about. I'm probably going to have to address this throughout the week. That's all I got, and I'm out of here, man. Peace. Go Ravens!